Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at Joe Madureira presents The Art of Darksiders. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to jump into this sucker. This one's a big one. Oh, it's so big. It's so big, and goddamn, it's a big book, it's a big boy. You know, it's a huge book. It's a huge book. We're gonna switch the lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying to yourself, what? What's he doing? He's switching the lights. This guy's wild. Yeah, we're switching the lights. We're gonna make it light time in here. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Looking at book time. All right, let's get going. Woo! Books. You know? So we're in here. This is a fat boy. It's a fatty. It's a fat book. It's fat. Big fan. It's like Zelda, but kind of grown up and edgy, with heaven and hell clashing. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And this dude on the cover is War. He's pissed. Alright. Alright, my books are creaky. So yeah, we got some sick-ass art here. War on his trusty steed. Characters, weapons, artifacts, environments, illustrations. So let's go. Since the dawn of time, the armies of heaven and hell have waged an endless war. Woo! Alright. Maybe I should be a little more somber, you know. Maybe I was too excited there. Drawn to the conflict was the Charred Council, an entity bound by ancient laws to preserve order and balance. I'm not going to read all this, but, you know, that's what it would sound like if I did. Eh? I don't need to tell you the story of Darksiders. You know, right? Right? Yeah, I think you do. All right, let's kind of flip through here. See some of Joe Mad's sick art. Big fan. Big fan. Yeah, there's not much I can say. Like, you're either a big fan of Joe Mad or you're not. I don't think there's any kind of middling ground on it. He makes his boys chunky, and everything's detailed and weathered, and, you know, you're either a fan of that or you're not. Big crazy demons and the whole bit. But yeah, this stuff's great. Like, to think that he left comics and was kicking out this kind of stuff, like, just for promotional illustrations and GameStop posters, it's kind of sad to me, but it is what it is. See, like, okay, right here, if you watch the Darkstalkers graphic file video, you'll see the thick heads, you know, the eyes, stuff like that. That might as well be Dimitri from Darkstalker. It's a very, very similar style. Everybody's big and chunky with their small little pinheads. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So yeah, we got some more cool designs and stuff here. Early concepts. Big boys and big swords. Looking very good. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Man. It's criminal. Criminal. Got some 3D models there. Gauntlets, the whole bit. Like, even the horse. Like, look at these horses. These horses are chunky. Just badass. Even this, like, kind of like the negative space, and then the fire running up there through the cracks and stuff in his legs. Sick. Sick. But yeah, look at this stuff. One of the 4 Horsemen of Death. And he's in the second game. You play mostly as him in the second game. There's Fury, because he does draw a sexy lady, I'll have you know. So yeah. Strife. Strife is pretty cool as well. There's a Darksiders Genesis game. It's very Diablo-esque that you play as him or War in. Yeah, it's just great. Like, love these designs. Everybody looks like, and especially like you're like, oh, these are the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So he really, like, kind of shifted what you would think of for those characters like Death and Strife. The whole bit. Yeah, thought that page just felt a little thick, but I guess it was just the right thickness. Charred Council, look at all these designs. Yeah, this stuff's great. Everything's just beautifully designed and really interesting to look at. Vulgrim. He was voiced by Mark Hamill in the first game, which was pretty cool. If you like Mark Hamill, I guess, you know. Jury's out on that one, I guess. Yeah, like look at all these guys. Look at this guy. Where's his brain go in that skull? There's his eye, and then it's just crunk. Dude's got a smooth brain. Abaddon, the Destroyer. Yeah, like just some great designs. Yeah, a bunch of development sketches. Yeah, this stuff's great. Just great. Especially if you're into this series, or you know, you're just like, hey, what's Uriel gonna look like in this world? That's the thing. It's like just some really cool designs, really cool armor, stuff like that. Like even the ladies, you know what I'm saying? These ladies look good. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of torn on it. Like, I would love to see Joe Mad still doing comics. But, like, admittedly, I since he's making games and stuff, I'm less torn on it because he's telling bigger stories and full 3D worlds. And there's definitely going to be a lot more fulfillment in that. Like, you know what I mean? Because the genre, video games are just so much more popular than comics. So it's like at some point you're talking to a smaller and smaller audience, and while that's cool to an extent, you want to grow, you want to touch more people, as it were. So, I honestly think with his heavy influence from Capcom and their artists and stuff like that, he probably always wanted to work in video games, and comics was a love as well. But I think the long game was video games. You know, it just makes more sense. Lilith. Yeah, some great designs in here. Like this book is fat. Like we're only in 40 some pages in, and I think it's like 300-page book or something like that. So, you know, we're not going to dwell on everything. I'm going to kind of speed it up here a bit. We'll keep going. The Hunter. Doing the hunting. But yeah, there's a bunch of great designs, little head sketches and stuff like that. Yeah, like a lot of these guys are super good. Lots of turnarounds and stuff for all the characters. We won't dwell on some of the regular stuff. I think I'll just kind of stop on things I find very impressive, since this is just kind of be like an overview of the kind of what you'll find in this art book. Yeah, some good stuff. I'm kind of keep flipping through here. The Jailer. See, I like that. I have them for scale. It's like crap right above his head. He's like, oh crap, this is gonna be bad. Wraith. Got some sexy lady. She's got some underboob there. That's how it's got to be. Yeah, a lot of really great designs here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Kind of has almost like a Joe Mad, Jeff Scott Campbell kind of fusion there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Caster. So yeah, got plenty of cool designs here. A bunch of dragons and snake men. The Fallen. Yeah, it's just like this book, like, and see, that's the thing, like, he would have had to design so many different creatures and characters. That alone is as fun sounding as it is daunting. You really have to stretch. You can't just be the guy who draws monsters or the guy who draws sexy ladies or whatever. You gotta design a whole world in his art style. You have to, like, basically lay down to the art team, like, hey, you gotta mimic this dude's style, so get on it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff's really cool. A lot of the stuff's digital. Clearly digital art for the sketches and layout. Because, hey, you gotta get shit done. Everything can't be done traditionally. and expect it to be timely or just versatile enough, like to make changes. Like if you're working for like a game company or doing anything like that, and they're like, hey, we need these wings changed. And you're like, well, I drew it on paper. Oh, I gotta erase it. And it's like, no, fucking digital. Like, the skill is still the skill. Putting it on paper doesn't make your skill any more impressive. Because you can just, like, and that's the thing. Like, people are like, oh, drawing traditionally makes you a better artist, or whatever layman's think. And it's just like, no, because you can draw the thing, put it down on paper, put it in blue line, ink it, put a light boxing it, like all the stuff that people do, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You just gotta get shit done. But yeah, look at this. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Big chunky, beefy demon boys. And I always found his, like, kind of merging, like, it's almost technology armor. Like, everything looks like it's Warhammer 40k with monsters and demons and all this other kind of stuff, but much cleaner than Warhammer. Like, I find Warhammer kind of ugly design-wise. Sorry, Warhammer fans. And so when you see people do something that kind of feels like that, but just kind of feels cleaner and more well thought out visually. Yeah, a lot of big monsters and spiders and general demons. Tiamat. What up, Tiamat? The Stygians. Straga. Like, look at it. They're just like so many designs. The Destroyer. I like him. He's a badass. But yeah, look at all this stuff. It's great. Additional sketches. I like how they got a bunch of humans and stuff there. Because a lot of this stuff takes place in heaven and hell and all the what's left of the earth and all kinds of stuff. It's good fun. Good fun. Got all these map illustrations. Labeled maps. City concepts, like all this concept art. And then it would be like, all right, well, this is the vibe we're going for. Now follow it when we make the city levels and stuff. Yeah, all the sketch and stuff looks great. All these building designs. Oh, that's kind of neat. Little Twin Towers action there. All this concept art. We're still only about maybe halfway through this book. It's just jam-packed. Full of design work, concepts, like, here's how this dude's anvil looks. It's angry and has a big face on it. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, they really thought out some of the most minute details in this world. And that's kind of what, at least for me, makes, like, Darksiders kind of special. Even though it's like just like an action kind of Zelda-y like adventure game, it just kind of has like a very like well thought out, well realized world. And everything they did felt like it was like kind of belonged, it felt of that universe. And so you didn't look at anything that felt out of place or felt jarring, just visually. Yeah, everything just kind of looks like it's supposed to be there in that space. But yeah, all this cool stuff. All this, like, look at this, all this design and artwork just for some of the most, like, little things. So, I like it. I like it. And that's the thing, like, when you're creating a lot of this stuff, somebody's got to think of the pipes. What do the pipes look like in this area? Is it neat and clean? Are they chunky? What is it for? What area are we representing? And a lot of this stuff is overlooked and an afterthought to a lot of creators. And it's kind of sad. They're not thinking about the world, they're thinking about moment to moment, but yet, you know, you still have to get there. You still have to get from this tower to the top of the tower, and you have to figure it out, and what takes place between there. You have to go like, oh, I remember when he walked in the gates of the tower. What do the gates look like? How big are the gates? Like, how imposing is the tower? That kind of stuff. And because, you know, a writer's just going to write like, there was a tower, and so-and-so walk through its gates. Well, what's the fucking tower look like? You know what I'm saying? Why is it imposing? Don't just tell me it's imposing. Show me that it's imposing. You know? Anyway. But yeah, like, here we go. See, like, they're just... We've just designed doors upon doors and doors. Like, little things here and there. That stuff's all hugely important. And there's a lot of color work going on here, too. There's a lot of variations where they were like, hey, what is this going to feel like? What's the mood we're trying to invoke here? I think it's lost on a lot of people, or it's the influence when you're playing the game or reading the book is so subtle that you don't realize that you're being influenced with color and design. And I think that's important, to understand that people are picking colors for a reason. People are trying to influence the way you feel when you walk into a room in a game or flip the next page in a comic book or graphic novel or manga or whatever. Yeah, that stuff's hugely important. It's also one of the things like I've noticed in comics and stuff as well lately. There's not a lot of stuff being written or drawn, or the page layouts aren't designed for the page turn. Yeah, it kind of ruins the flow to a lot of books, to be honest. Yeah, we got a lot more gargoyle heads. The whole thing, but yeah, everything's just the meticulous amount of design happening here and just detail is so impressive. I'm kind of skimming over a lot of it because there's just so much of it. Like, but visually, like even here, like, you know, you're seeing these striking changes in color and mood and feel, like getting these like warm colors here and going back here to these like cooler, darker tones. Boom, the big sword of war. It's got a bunch of like skulls and the Chaos Eater. Yeah, the Harvester, that's Death Scythe. Yeah, and there was multiple versions of a lot of this stuff too in the game, like you get upgraded. So they had to figure all this stuff out and stick with designs and figure out like how they want something, because you want to make something look cool when you originally get your weapon or your starting weapon. But then if you're going to upgrade it or level up or power up or whatever, you know, whatever kind of transition you're going to have as a character, whether it's a comic or a movie or a video game or whatever, then the thing they get also has to be cooler than the original thing you start out with that you already should like and should have appeal to you. So yeah, that stuff's hard. You know, you're not gonna win all the time, that's for sure. Got all their gauntlets and stuff. Yeah, that stuff's awesome. I don't know, it's weird. Some of it's like bordering on like high school, like edgelord, drawn on your notebook stuff. But sometimes that's alright. Sometimes that's cool, just to see a demon head on a gauntlet. Or a big like demon chest plate or something like that. Yeah. But I mean, it's like everything has its place. Time and place for high school demon heads, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, there we go. Get some guns. The angels and had guns. See right here, redemption. What angels lack in claws, teeth, and cruelty, they more than make up for with an arsenal of weaponry. Blazing with the radiance of the White City, heaven's ordinance can burn away demons and their shadows. Yeah, some cool stuff. Really cool stuff. So yeah, it's like kind of showing the demons and the angels have like almost like a technological war too. Like, it's kind of cool. Lord Seeker. It's corrupted. See, there's a corrupted anvil. And then there's the regular anvil. Like, yeah, it's just all this kind of lore, like even built into the anvil becoming corrupted as though it was made to only make divine weapons. Like, and that stuff is really cool. Yeah, a lot of like, and just that kind of stuff alone builds a depth and lore to your world other worlds just don't have. But yeah, we're getting somewhat close to the end of this thick boy. There's just so much design work done in this game. All these, like the 7 seals, like all these emblems, Heart of the Chosen. Just the sheer amount of work that had to be done to do all this stuff. Ruin designs, upgrade concept designs, like, yeah, look at, like, you know, like right here, the iconography of your game is important for logos, patches, insignias, businesses, corporations. Depending on what your world is, like Cyberpunk or something, you're going to probably have a bunch of mainline corporations who show up in your world all the time. And they got the weapons, so you had to design all the Chaos Eaters, gear items, the ability. Just designing these simple things that you're like, oh, you know, it's like he's got stone skin. Well, someone drew that and designed it, you know, and it's like got to be clear just by looking at, oh, he's got stone skin. Cool. Yeah, it's just so much design work goes into a video game, a comic, any of that stuff. Now, look, there's early icon design, so how much they've changed, all the stuff. Yeah, this. Here we go. This is the hill I'm gonna die on today, I think. Logos, sweet zombie Jesus. Design a goddamn good logo. Design a logo that looks good on a t-shirt. Design a logo that looks good from far away in a small icon on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever. Design a logo that people want to put on to promote you. You know what I mean? Like, look at all the different logo designs and tweaks. You know what I mean? Like, from making the S loop longer, like all that kind of stuff. Man, if I could get one thing across to people, is designing a good logo is so important. Sure, your story has to be important, your characters have to be important, but there's a reason why people wear turtle shirts to this day. There's a reason why people wear Batman logo or Superman logo shirts, the Flash, whatever it is because those things are really important, and they instantly show what it is, and people instantly gravitate towards it because they know what it is. And it's just like, hey, that looks cool, I want that. Oh, hey, look, that's cool. I've seen that before. Is that a video game? Is that a comic? I'm going to go look. You're instantly showing people what it is and giving them an idea. So yeah, we're getting into some 3D models here now for the in-game stuff. Now that I've ranted about the importance of a logo, I've shown some in-game stuff here as well. There's Uriel. Like, and I'm also really impressed at how well his designs translate to 3D. These big chunky boys and like all this like ornate designed armor, and it looks good. It doesn't look silly. That's kind of the thing I've been impressed with. Just seeing them run around in game worlds. So yeah, I think we're seeing some really cool stuff. So the thick boy is very well stitched. Undead Lord, Wraiths. But yeah, I've shown a lot of these in 3D. You know, we've seen a lot of the designs at the start. You know, really cool. Yeah, I get more of the Fallen, Tiamat. Yeah, it's pretty cool to destroy a ruler of hell. And we got more 3D stuff here. War and Ruin. Yeah, that's the horse's name. The Last Supper. That's funny. But yeah, I think we're right up on the end of it here. Yeah, some really cool stuff. Big fan. Yeah, now we're just looking at giant pieces here. But yeah, I think that's it. You know, yeah, it's all just back matter, game credits and whatnot. But yeah, that's going to do it. That is Darksiders, Art of, presented by Joe Madureira. Now, if you've liked everything you've seen here today, like, comment, subscribe, share it out, tell your friends about it. You know, send your mom a quick message like, hey, we need this right here. I need this, Mom. Help me. Help you, Mom. You know? All right. Bye.